Let's say you're in a band and you have certain songs that you want a 2-bar click to count off. There are other songs that you want a click to loop through the whole song. And then you have some medleys where there are different sections for the songs and maybe you want cues for them. In this video, I'll show you how you can create a set list that accommodates all of those things. And I'll show you 2 different methods for achieving this. So let's say that in our set we want to play Hard to Handle, Superstition, Living on a Prayer, and then we want a medley which has cues for the different sections, and then we want I Love Rock and Roll, Walk This Way, and Summer of '69. So we'll begin by adding the first 3 items to a playlist. We'll do this by tapping on the multi-select button. We'll choose those 3 items, and then we'll tap on Actions and Add Presets to Playlist. So I'll call this part 1. So that loads our playlist. And then I'm going to go back to the presets. And I'm going to tap the multi-select button again. And this time I want I Love Rock and Roll, Walk This Way, Summer of '69. I'm going to go Actions, Add Presets to Playlist. And I'm going to call this part 3 because the cue track is going to be our middle one. So finally, I'm going to go into Playlist Manager and I'm going to show you this cue track, which is a demo. And in fact, I'm going to rename this. So let's go Actions, Duplicate, and I'll call this New Song. So let's say this is a song that we've written and I wanted cues for it. So this is what that looks like. You have the different sections and it tells you when the verse is and the bridge is. So if I play this, we get the intro.
Verse 3, 4.
And it cues us into the verse. And then it's going to cue us into the bridge.
Bridge 3, 4.
And then it will cue us into the chorus. And you can see where verse 2 is and verse 3 is. So that's just an example of how you can create a click track with voice cues. So what I want to do is insert this into the middle of those other 2 sections. So I'll show you 2 ways you could create a set list that incorporates both the regular songs and this cue track. So the first way is to use the quick access playlists. So if you go to Playlist Manager, you can tap on the select button and choose part 1 and then the new song and then part 3. And then tap on Actions and Add to Quick Access. So if we scroll down to the bottom, we'll see that we have part 3, the new song, and part 1. And if I tap, this is going to load part 1. So I can set this up as a auto advance and stop playlist. And I'll turn off playlist looping. And if I hit play, we're going to have Hard to Handle. So we get a couple of reps of this and then it automatically moves to the next item and stops. Hit play on this one. It gives us the groove we're going to play and then it moves on to the next item and stops. And once we've got through these 3 songs, I can just tap on here and it's going to load the medley. So then we hit play and we work through our
3, 4.
little cue track. And then once we get to the end of that, I can reach down and it's already moved on to part 3. So I tap to load the 3rd part of the set list and we can play through those. The other method is to have everything in one giant playlist. And you can do this by going to Playlist Manager. Again, tap on the multi-select button, choose part 1, new song, and part 3. And this time on the Actions button, we'll merge to new and we'll call it tonight's gig. And that creates a new playlist. And if I load this, you'll see that we have part 1, those 3 tracks, and then we have the new song, which is this, and then we have the 3 tracks at the end. Now we need to turn on, in playlist controls, we need to turn on play when advancing. Because the new song needs to advance automatically through all of these items. But we don't want these songs to run into each other. At the moment, if I hit play, it's going to auto advance and play the next item. So to avoid that, if you tap the edit button, we can select all of these, the first item in the new song, and these three at the bottom. And in the actions menu, under auto advance options, we can choose to stop when reached. And you will see the little square in here means that these items will stop when they're reached, and the triangle here means that these items will play. So for example, from Superstition, this is going to play, but when this runs out and we hit living on a player, it stops. And then we hit play, we get the cue for this, and then again it waits at the next item. But because these are all play, when I hit this one, we get our intro, and this whole section will advance through these cues. So that's how you can combine regular items and cue tracks or medleys into one playlist.